Hello, viewers. I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal. Stand before you with a topic distinction between old social movements and new social movements. It is found in plus 3 fifth semester DSE-2 paper, and the name of the paper is Development Process and Social Movements in Contemporary India. But before I discuss differences or distinctions between old or traditional social movements and new social movements, I want to inform my viewers that the name of my channel is at the rate Dilip Kumar Pal 9375, where videos from plus 3 first semester political honors up to plus 3 sixth semester political honors, videos from plus 3 first semester ethics and values up to plus 3 fifth semester ethics and values, and videos from plus 3 first semester to second semester political and general elective, and some videos of environmental studies of plus 3 first semester, and some videos of plus 2 first year, plus 2 second year political science are available. I request my viewers that any topic you want, just write my name Dilip Kumar Pal and the name of the topic in Google or YouTube. You will get bilingual videos in English and Odia. Let us start. Distinction between old and new social movements. In the subject political science, the concept social movements is considered to be a major concept. In the subject political science, the concept social movements is considered as a major concept. Social movements mean it is a mass movement of people aimed to bring about better changes for society or resist changes which are harmful for society. In the subject political science, social movements is a major concept. Social movement means it is a mass movement of people which is carried out to bring about some better changes in society or resist those things which are harmful for society. So far as social movements are concerned, they can be categorized into old or traditional social movement and new social movements. Following are their distinctions. So far as social movements are concerned, they can be categorized into two categories, like old or traditional social movements and new social movements. So what are the differences between old or traditional social movements and new social movements? Let us start. Number one, distinction between old or traditional social movements and new social movements. Number one, first distinction between old or traditional social movement and new social movement is that old or traditional social movement prevailed during industrial economy, but new social movements developed after industrial economy. In the industrial economy, priority is given to manufacturing goods through heavy industries, and these manufacturing goods are tangible or can be seen. But in post-industrial period, importance is given to services which are not tangible or that cannot be seen, tested, felt, heard, smelled before they are purchased, like education service, health service, lawyer service, etc. Then manufacturing goods. For example, a lawyer service cannot be known beforehand so long as lawyer's work is presented in court. So the first difference between old or traditional social movement and new social movement is that old or traditional social movement was found during industrial economy, but new social movement was found in post-industrial economy. So old or traditional social movement was found in the industrial economy. So what was the industrial economy? industrial economy means it was a period where importance was given to manufacturing goods through heavy industries, and these goods can be seen. But in post-industrial economy, importance is not given to manufacturing goods or goods which are seen, tangible. Rather, importance is given to non-tangible things. In post-industrial economy, importance was not given to manufacturing goods through heavy industries, or importance was not given to tangible things which can be seen. Rather, in post-industrial economy, importance was given to non-tangible things, where the taste, smell, where the taste which cannot be seen, taste cannot be realized, and it cannot be smelled before the service is given. So in post-industrial economy, importance is given to tangible things, means the services which cannot be seen, which cannot be realized unless they are purchased. For example, doctor service, teacher service, lawyer service. For example, a lawyer service cannot be known unless the lawyer will present his work in the court. A doctor service cannot be known unless the doctor will be able to diagnose the disease and will make the patient recover. So the first difference between the old or traditional social movement and new social movement is that old or traditional social movement was found in the industrial economy, and new social movement was found in post-industrial economy. And in the industrial economy, importance was given to tangible things, and in post-industrial economy, importance was given to non-tangible things. Number two, another difference between old social movements and new social movement is that old social movements relate with political issues like change of government, demand for more rights for people, and economic issues like end of exploitation, demand for more wages. So another difference between the old social movement and new social movement was that old social movement relate with political issues like change of government, demand for more rights, and it also relate with the economic issues like end of exploitation, more wages for the worker. But old social movement do not relate with the social issues and cultural issues, and new social movements relate with the social issues and cultural issues. But new social movements relate with social issues, means issues affecting the society, and cultural issues like gender, race, religion, etc. So old social movements relate with political issues and economic issues. New social movement relate with the social issues, means issues which affect the society, and cultural issues means race, gender, religion, language of the people. Then the third difference between old social movement and new social movement is that another difference between them is that old social movements are carried out by political parties. Like Indian National Congress was working for Indian independence, and Chinese Communist Party led Cultural Revolution in China. But new social movements do not carry out their work through political parties. Another major difference between old social movement and new social movement is that old social movements want to carry out their work through political parties. For example, Indian National Congress work for Indian independence. Chinese Communist Party led Cultural Revolution in China. So old social movements carry out their work through political parties, but new social movements do not carry out their work with political parties. They do not carry out their work with the help of political parties. They do not rely on political parties. Number 4, Another distinction between them is that old social movements are confined within nation and new social movements are international in scope. They are working in the international level. Another difference between old social movement and new social movement is that old social movements are confined within a country. They cannot go beyond that. They will not go beyond that. But new social movements are international in scope. They function in the international level. Fifth one, another distinction between them is that old social movements consist of only working class, but new social movement consists of middle class people. Another difference between old social movement and new social movement is that old social movements consists of only working class, but new social movement consists of middle class people. Then the sixth important difference between them is that old social movement consider their prominent leaders as. Another difference between them is that old social movement consider their prominent members as leaders, but new social movement consider their prominent member as only organizer. Another difference between old social movement and new social movement is that old social movements consider their prominent members as leaders, but new social movements consider their prominent members as organizers. 7. Another difference between them is that old social movement were not giving importance to civil society, but new social movement give priority to civil society and regard them as self-defense of society. Another difference between them is that old social movements do not give importance to civil society. They have not realized the importance of civil society, but new social movements have felt the need of civil society. They have given importance to civil society. According to new social movements, civil societies are self-defense for society. 8. Old social movements are not democratic, but new social movements are democratic in structure. Old social movements are not democratic. In old social movements, members are not given freedom to express their view. It is not democratic, but new social movements are democratic. Here its members, its organizers, and those who are associated with it, they have full freedom to express their view. So old social movements are not democratic, new social movements are democratic. 9. Old social movements want to capture power, but it is not the object of new social movements. Old social movements want to capture power, but it is not the object of new social movement. It is not the object of new social movement to capture the power, to seize the power. 10. In old social movement, there was a domination of one member over other, but it is authoritarian. But the new social movements are anti-authoritarian because there is no dominance of one member over other. Another difference between old social movement and new social movement is that old social movement is authoritarian. In old social movement, there is domination of one member over other. But new social movement is anti-authoritarian. In new social movement, there is no domination of one member over other. 11. Old social movements are formal, but new social movements are informal. Old social movements are formal, means in old social movements there are various offices, there are rigid rules and regulations. But in new social movements, there are no rules and regulations. It is informal. 12. Old social movements have rigid hierarchy and not horizontal in nature. But new social movement do not have rigid hierarchy. It is horizontal in nature. Another difference between old social movement and new social movement is that in old social movement there is rigid hierarchy, means there are various layers in the organization. But in new social movements there are no rigid hierarchy. There is no rigid structures within the organization. Last, old social movements are class based, but they want to secure interest of a specific class. But new social movement are not class based. They want to promote interest of all classes. Another difference between old social movement and new social movement is that old social movements are class based. They want to secure the interest of a specific class. But new social movements are not class based. They want to promote interest of all classes. So these are the major differences between old social movements or traditional social movement and new social movements. So I request my viewers to subscribe my channel. Never forget to subscribe. So new videos will come to you. There will be no need for you to search for the videos. And aware of your friends, those who are not aware about this channel, to subscribe so that some new students will be benefited. Remember, not to hesitate to give help to anybody. To give help to anybody is a symbol of a human being. Thank you. Have a good day.